The South Fields soccer project and locker room project really has been 2+ years in the making. The movement of the Hillside Field over to what has become our South Fields complex is a real important and strategic piece to the growth of our athletic programs, and obviously in particular the soccer program. But not to be lost in all this is also the impact on field hockey, softball, and women's lacrosse, which will also benefit from having a complex that was started over there not as long as 5 years ago really be completed. That facility over there is becoming something to really have a lot of pride in, and I think this project will sort of be the crown jewel of finishing that off. We were able to strategically buy up about 16 parcels of land on that side of campus. Some of that took a little bit more time than others, but we were able to complete that process, develop what would go down there, and then be able to execute that. So when we get to the fall, I think what you're going to see is just a beautiful state-of-the-art Division III facility. That's something that we'll really be proud of.
I hope it continues to, allow us to recruit the best players in the country. I certainly think that there's more to center than or more to recruiting than just trying to get the good players. Obviously, we represent a great school, and we are a part of a really neat tradition here. And I'm hoping that players, whether we're on the old field or the new field, are going to come here for the right reasons. But certainly have a state-of-the-art field will showcase what we plan to do in moving forward.
Moving into that facility, it certainly is going to enhance everything for us in recruiting. It certainly allows us to properly host games now here, certainly host tournament games here now. So that elevates the program at that level. But for me, the biggest thing is it's just a snapshot into the health of the college today, and I think the college is doing very well.
Yeah, I'm going to be impressed. I think I'm really excited to see the locker rooms, and I think just walking out on game day and knowing that you're just right there, leaving the locker room and walking right onto the field, I think will be really neat. Obviously the playing surface is supposed to be immaculate, and it's going to be nice to have a stadium where everybody is sitting. As much as I miss the hill, and I know people are going to miss sitting in blankets and chairs and kind of being able to run around, and I know my daughter's kind of concerned too with having the freedom just to run wherever she wants. But the one thing I'm really, really excited is that center and the committee really wanted to take what was neat of the old complex and apply it to the new. And with that being the case, they're going to implement the patio. The patio serves such a neat part of our program, with friends and families coming from all over to honor and to make sure that they celebrate the wins and be there for the losses after the games. But having the patio a part of the new complex is going to be special.
We had the most early decision applicants this year than we've ever had. And I know that was a big part of it. People are excited to be at a school that takes soccer seriously. And I think that what's going on with this new facility, actions speak louder than words. Young people see that today.
I think when we did a priority list, the number one thing we did was the playing surface. And I think if you think about what's really important, that is where it should be. So we're building a beautiful sand-capped with all the bells and whistles in terms of a playing surface. Natural grass, Bermuda surface with appropriate drainage and irrigation. I think it will really rival even mid-major Division I facilities in terms of the surface. The second priority became the building that will be down there, the locker room building. As I've said throughout, that is really very impactful to 5 programs that we have, not just our soccer programs. So making sure we got that right, making sure that carried over what we have done in Sutcliffe this past summer, thanks to some real generous donors, and being able to set the new standard for what we provide for our student athletes in terms of locker room facilities, training room facility. That unit down there will be self-contained, even though it's an auxiliary site for things like our training room and our laundry room facilities, but it will allow those groups to be contained down there. And then the stands, press box, you're going to really be able to have what I think is a first-rate experience Our hope is that we could host SAA championships, we could host NCAA first and second round, and maybe even beyond, and be able to provide the experience that we would expect to do here.